Hey, good morning, Justice Seekers. Thank you for joining me. Oh my goodness. Like I said yesterday, I don't like to burden you with my problems, but I already recorded this. Luckily, it was a short one, and hopefully, I can do it better the second time anyway, right? It's like a dress rehearsal, dry run. I try to be very prepared for these, and at the same time, I try to be just spontaneous and in the moment. So, here we go. This is a short one, like I said. I have about 7 or 8 things I want to outline for you. And this is all about the Kiely Rodni case, of course. Pretty much every single one of my videos so far has been. Everything I say is strictly my opinion for educational and entertainment purposes only. Take it or leave it. Take it with a grain of salt. And let's get into it. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe and share with your friends and family if you feel like it. Doing those things is free to you, and it really helps the algorithm, so it's really good for the creators. That's why we're always trying to remind everybody, because I know personally when I'm watching other people's videos that I do like and I do want to help and give them that boost, I often forget to hit the like button. It's pretty silly. It's so simple, but yet. Anyway, let's go, because the weather is just unpredictable, okay? About that video that was released, I think the day before yesterday, of the car headlights at Prosser Creek Reserve. The timing is everything. And when I say timing, I'm talking about the timing of it surfacing in the YouTube community. In any investigation, the information is pertinent, but the most pertinent information is the timing of each thing. So keep that in mind. So we know that it's a video, right? We know that it's time-stamped for a certain date. We know that it matches up with the stories that Megan has come out and shared. Again, the timing. These things went hand in hand. So, it confirms her story. Ooh, wow. I'm just going to run down my list real quick. Did law enforcement have this from early on? You would think that that would have been the first thing they did, was go look for surveillance tapes, especially ones that they know about, like the fire ones. So if they had it from day one, that's interesting. Then did they pretend that they didn't know where she was? I just have questions. I don't have answers. Could they not put 2 and 2 together? Did they not know where she was? They had the video, or did they forget to look at the video? God, I hate my stupid phone when it rings and I'm trying to make you guys a tape. Okay, so another point, kind of jumping tracks here, is psychological combat, friendly fire. When I worked in a psychiatric facility in San Francisco, I had one specifically amazing mentor that was like the wind beneath my wings, and without her, my career would not have been what it was. And we're still good friends. I love her. She's my mom's age. I'm her kid's age, and we've been extremely tight ever since. So that said, it's good to have a mentor. It's good to have many mentors if you can, as many as possible, but one really solid or a couple really solid is priceless in any field or just in life in general. So I tried to learn, of course, from every person that I could at the hospital, patients, clients, nurses and psychiatrists and coworkers alike, all of the staff, all of the clients. You learn so much from everybody, in my opinion. So one of the supervisors, I guess he was kind of pseudo my supervisor, but he didn't really work there. He was like contracted there. He was completely insane. He really was. He was like out of his gourd crazy. And he still had a lot to offer. Maybe not a lot, but something. So I'll tell you what the tool that I felt like I got from him that I put in my tool bag and have carried with me ever since, and it comes up right here, is he talked about psychological warfare. He said, when you work in this field of psychology, The craziest people are going to be the ones that work in psychology. They think that they're hiding in camouflage, and then they get to be the professional, the authority. And if they're really good, it's hard to spot them. And even if you're working with people that are not kind of doing that, it's still psychological warfare, because friendly fire is just as lethal and harmful as enemy fire. And we all know in war and in training, people die in friendly fire all the time. So his point and my point is that you don't know when you're going to get a land mine, airstrike, bullets, cannonballs, chemical warfare. You just don't know. You have to be ready all the time. And kind of trust no one, because you don't know. And they might not be intentionally trying to harm you. They might accidentally trip and spill their coffee and it flies into your computer and your computer goes dead, right? I mean, just anything. We always have to be careful of our surroundings, and especially other people. People can be snakes. They can be tricky. They can be two-faced. They can be backstabbing. That's nothing new. We all know that. So this whole situation with the Kiely Rodni case is a psychological operation, in my opinion. These characters, I'll name a couple: Zanime, Check It, SF Investigates. These players think they're really sneaky and smart, and they're doing psychological operations, psych ops. So you got to look at the source of where this videotape came from and what is the motivation. Why now, right? And the transparency. Is law enforcement going to tell us when they came across this and how they came across this and why now? Because transparency is the law, sunshine law. And the Truckee way, we've all been hearing about this. Oh my God. Harsh just put out a video like an hour or two ago where he reads the doctrine of the Truckee way, and it spells it out to a T. It's wild. It's wild if you haven't seen it yet. So that's pretty much my list. I want to keep this really short because I'm going to do a longer video later. But to run down again my 7 things that I highlighted. We have a video. When did it happen? Or when did it happen? That was kind of a slip up, but it's also true. Like, was it from August 5th, 6th? Or was it just fabricated a month or a week ago? Or a day, 2 days before it surfaced? So it would be pretty easy for anybody with those skills to access that footage and manipulate it and put different dates in or different times or whatever it is that they want to do, right? So if they had it, if they didn't have it from day one, they're idiots, because they should have gone straight to that immediately. And that's their job, and they're doing an investigation, so wake up, right? And if they did have it, why did they pretend that they didn't know where she was? If they did know where she was. And if they had it and they didn't know where she was, then why wouldn't they have known where she was? That's crazy. Like, really? You can't put 2 and 2 together? Come on. So think about the psychological warfare. Think about friendly fire, enemy fire. And think about your sources of information and what their ulterior motivation is. I'll tell you, my ulterior motivation is to try to make the world a safer place for myself and everybody else in it. And a more beautiful place, too. I'm really a supporter of arts and expressive arts and music and all that great stuff. So, people might tell you what their motivation is, like I just did, but really have an ulterior motive, right? I mean, we all know that. That's just life. So I hope that I don't have any ulterior motive. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm really not in this for the money. If I make money, that's great. And what's more important to me is that people appreciate what I do. And, I'm really fortunate to be in a position where we're comfortable, right? We have all of our needs met. We're very, very privileged, in my opinion. In my opinion, we live like kings. And I sometimes tell my kids, like, we live like kings compared to a lot of people worldwide, like, 90% of the world's population. Then I'm like, heck, we live like kings compared to people right down the street when it really comes down to it. I mean, and we live on a nice street. Times are rough, especially now. So money is always a huge thing. So I'm glad I brought it up in this example, because really, of course, no one's going to say, oh, no, I don't want the money. I mean, maybe somebody, but that's silly, because you could always take it. If you really don't want it, you can donate it to a great cause that you want, or what have you. Right? Trip to Disney World. So if you haven't seen The Truckee Way yet, look at that. Van Holden speaks Van Holden 24/7, 365. Talks about it in the video that he made yesterday. And then Harsh talks about it in the video that he made today. And thank you, Harsh. He's very sick. He's not sounding too good, but he's already put 2 videos out today. He's amazing. Yeah, I do not want to see people letting up on this. So in summary, ask yourself why no one else has spoken in the last 60 days other than Sammy, Mags, Kate Jagger, and Elsa, and Megan. Why is no one else speaking? It's because the Truckee Way. It is weird. And it is, if you guys remember that weird TV show called Twin Peaks back in the 90s, it was filmed in the mountains east of Seattle. That was some weird stuff, but that is the same feeling that I get with this. And on that, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to work on my other video. I'm going to finish watching a bunch of other creators' content. And thank you again. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share, take good care of yourself, drink your water, get your protein, eat well, fruits and veggies, fresh air, sunshine, exercise, stretch, take a nap, do what you need to do. Get ready for an amazing weekend, and, be social if you want with your friends and family, and be a hermit if you want. There's a lot to be said for solitude. So good always to keep a balance, right? So again, I'll try to be having another video by the end of the day. You can look for that. Thank you so much. I'm just thrilled to be accepted as a content creator, and your comments mean the world to me. I try to read every single one of them, like and love every single one of them, just so you know I saw it, and if I have time to respond, I do. Many of them are just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So thanks. Take care.